say that a lot. That I miss the yapping is just about to start. I say that a lot, but I really do think that's 6's biggest issue. I think so many of the matches are just so repetitive. Like, I feel like I'm fighting the same thing every game. This video goes into what I was talking about and how for you guys to chat to get good at fighting games. IGN made a video about how to get good at fighting games, and I want to see if any of this is actually applicable.
Hey YouTube, glad you've been enjoying all the videos I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as like and share the video.
You're also not going to learn what's fun about fighting games if you're just focusing on mashing single button auto combos.
True.
So if you're interested in fighting games but feel like you don't even know where to begin when it comes to learning how to play them or enjoy them on a deeper level, here are some tips to get good at them. The 2D ones.
I think people put the word good way too high. I think I'm good at fighting games. I think most people in here are good at fighting games. If you're 1800 MR, hell, I think you're good at Street Fighter. I think you're amazing at Street Fighter 6, actually. I think good is very subjective, where the cutoff of good is. I'm bad at the game. Do I have the right to dislike it, or is that a top player privilege? Okay, that one's always a hot subject, because I don't think you should be able to gatekeep, oh, you're bad at the game. There's some things I don't like about 6. I say it a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of things I don't like about 6. But I can explain to you why I don't like X or Y thing about 6. I think that's fine. If you can articulate and tell me, oh, I don't like 6 because X, Y, and Z, that's fine. And I'll be like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. You tell me I don't like 6 because Ryu gorilla mash and just jump over and over again, then it's like, okay, you're just bad at the game. That's where it's different. Like I said, people dog on me for like, oh, iDom just hates on 6. iDom just hates on 6 for no reason. No, I can give you the reasons why I don't like 6. I wouldn't hate on 6 for no reason. If you're telling me, oh, I don't like City of Wolves because everyone just like short hop slop, then it's like, okay, well, that's kind of a skill issue. You could probably just anti-air that. If you're like, oh, I don't like City of Wolves because aesthetically is not pleasing, or I don't like that I gotta play Hotaru all the time or whatever, then it's like, okay, then yeah, I guess. I watched some videos about people, you know, complaining about Street Fighter 6, and then like some of the videos I watch are just like, bro, you're bad at the game. You don't have a good reason to hate. You're just bad at the game. When I'm complaining or making suggestions, I'm like, yo, I'm okay. I'm good at the game. I can explain why I don't like this. But if you're like, yo, I don't like 6 because Honda just spam headbutt, bro, you're bad at the game. I think people have gotten good at abusing the game, but not really good at the mastery over interaction strategy. Even pro sets are still a toss-up between people. No, because that's just the way 6 is, Malcolm. What are we saying?
You should not press a button after blocking. This is why it's especially important to anti-air opponents.
This is a lot of basic fighting game. I mean, this isn't a bad video, but this is a lot of basic fighting game stuff.
And may even be an opportunity to punish.
Every video game has rules like this. For people for fighting games, they feel like it's different because of the character by character basis. But for most games in general, there's always rules like this. Oh man, if you hit the dive kick low, then you know it's plus. Then
Soul's Fafnir and Guilty Gear Strive.
Wait, that's not plus. They nerfed that. Wait, misinformation. They nerfed that. That's not plus. That's not plus.
Most sweep attacks, which are low-hitting heavy attacks most commonly.
This is incredibly big. I mean, this is actually incredibly good because this is universal fighting game rule.
Let's focus on what you should be learning when you pick a character and take them.
Just pick the coolest looking character. I always tell people that. Just pick the coolest looking character, or if you're a tier whore, just pick the most OP character.
Find a zoner character like Guile in Street Fighter, Axel in Strive.
They say zoner in Street Fighter like Guile. No Guile plays like this. This is not Guile gameplay. The DJ is in the wrong. This isn't Guile gameplay. Guile's gonna fireball drive rush at you. You see, this is what's wrong with SF6 chat. The fact that they're using the term mix up and then showing Ryu in Street Fighter 6 is a problem. This is what's wrong with the game, bruh. What are we doing? Come on, man. What are we doing? Ryu mix-up character? What year is this? What are we doing, man? When I think of mix-up, I'm thinking of Ibuki, Milia. But now we got Ryu, the mix-up character. What are we doing? You see, this is normal strike throw. I don't mind Geo because she really is just strike throw most of the time. Geo don't really got crazy mix. It's just strike throw, which is fine because like people like their strike throw characters. This is fine. Left right mix, you see, Vi crossing you up with assist. But Vi is a left right mix up character, you see, and Vi has weaknesses. Street Fighter 6 really lost every archetype. There's no character archetypes in 6, and that is my biggest complaint. Miz dispenser. Terry's a Miz dispenser in this game. Soul's a Miz dispenser in Strive. Like, oh, I have this plus on block mid, and if you hit a button, I counter hit you, you're gonna die.
Ideally, an anti-air combo. Just like with anti-airs, you also want to take note of the situation after you land a combo. Do you have time to pressure your opponent after your combo lands?
Good thing there's a mechanic in Street Fighter 6 that circumvents that, called Drive Rush. Yo, 6 is really just anti-fighting game. It really is crazy when the more and more you think about it. Good thing there's a mechanic in 6 to circumvent that. Everything that is applicable for most fighting games is just very not applicable in 6.
These fundamentals, that's when you can start looking into other ways to
You see, if that were any other Street Fighter, I swear if Ryu anti-aired here, I think all he would have been able to do is throw a fireball. I don't even think if Ryu dashed here, he's even close enough for a mix. I don't think Ryu would be able to do anything here if this was any other game. But you got this green god mechanic. Green god mechanic. Good old Drive Rush, baby. It's over into Drive Rush overhead in a full combo. That could have been much worse.
But the risk reward balance is not in your favor. You land an invincible reversal, you deal a decent chunk of damage, and reset the situation to neutral.
Ha ha ha! I like how he says you reset the situation to neutral. Bro doesn't know about Drive Rush. Good thing 6 has the god mechanic of Drive Rush. You know, most DPs in other games, you'll DP, and it's like, oh, okay, he DP'd. That's fine. He has nothing to do here. Wait a minute, I have this green mechanic. If Drive Rush didn't exist, wouldn't JP be too strong, though? That's true. But I always say this, and I think 6 is so successful because I think 6 fixed a lot of things people don't like about fighting games. And I don't like it because I just think it's stupid that, like, this is just, like, I guess this is boomer iDom talking, but this is how fighting games work, and 6 is trying to fix things people don't like about fighting games, which I don't like. One thing I feel myself dying a lot for in 6, and it's very apparent, because even when I play Strive, I realize it. When I play Strive, City, any other fighting game, I'm very aware of this, but in 6, I feel like it gets me killed every time. I hate overextending, chat. I really hate overextending. I think overextending is the worst possible thing you could do. If I get a lead, I kind of want to sit on the lead. I'm going to play the clock. I don't want to overextend and kill myself. Not in 6, because if I don't overextend, my opponent's going to get drive meter to do fireball drive rush or whatever drive rush at me. And it's like, why am I getting put into a bad situation for not wanting to play? Yeah, that's one of my things that I'm really scared of too. I hope future fighting games don't try to copy 6. I don't like that 6 is like insanely gapping every fighting game out, because I feel like fighting games are going to try to copy 6, and I don't want that, because I feel like 6 is very anti-fighting games in general. Aren't the people with low drive gauge not wanting to overextend? I wouldn't say if you have low drive gauge, you're basically gonna try to stand there and hold the ground till you get your drive gauge so you can do button drive rush. But even if you notice the person has low drive gauge, I can't really do that because, you know, I play Manon and Viper. But if you're seeing like, okay, this guy doesn't want to overextend with his low drive gauge, and you're my EX fan go in basically behind your EX fan, wait a minute, well, I landed a throw here because he was scared or he didn't want to block or whatever happened, and then you're still the my player, wait a minute, I'm gonna do EX fan again. City copies a drive meter though. I think City's bar here is way more better thought out than 6's drive meter. I just think it's because the EX moves are kind of per character versus like some, you know, godlike mechanic in general. Characters have brain dead EX moves in City for sure, and also the defensive mechanics in this game is incredibly strong. If you knew somebody was going to do their brain dead EX move, what, you had a 6-frame just defend thing to punish them with? Most fighting games you gotta earn the meter. Like I said, I think earning meter is better. I think regenerating meter is stupid. This is why I got the meme. I will die on this hill. Regenerating meter is the worst thing that happened to fighting game. I think regenerating meter is so stupid.
But this video is already pretty long for a beginner's guide, and if you...
All I got from this is fighting games are too hard. This is a beginner's guide, and it was like 14 minutes, and it still didn't even cover so many things that you could put into a beginner guide.